Hello, welcome to the Unit 2 assessment review. This is not review for the assessment, rather we are reviewing the correct answers to the assessment. So this was out of 30 points if you requested it to be graded, with 25 multiple choice, each worth 1 point, and the short answer response being worth 5 points. So let's start off with number 1. Which of the following is an example of a physical change? The correct answer is C, melting ice. That is a change of state, which is not a physical change. Burning wood, that is a chemical reaction with oxygen. Rusting iron, that is also a chemical reaction with oxygen. And digesting food, that's all a chemical reaction. That's biochemistry, though. Number 2, which of the following is not a state of matter? The correct answer is D, mixture. We know our main states of matter. Solid, liquid, gas, and then plasma, which we don't see as much. Mixture is not a state of matter. Number 3, which of the following is an example of an extensive property? This was part of lesson 2.4. And the correct answer is B, volume. Volume changes depending on how much of something you have. That is what an extensive property is. So density, melting point, and conductivity are all intensive properties. So we can deduce that volume is extensive. Number 4, what type of change occurs when water freezes into ice? So our two changes that we know are physical and chemical. So we can eliminate nuclear and biological. Those have nothing to do with this unit. And we know water freezing, that is a change of state into solid. So we know that is a physical change. Number 5, which of the following is a chemical property of a substance? The correct answer is C, reactivity with acid. So we know reactivity, when something says reactivity with something, we know that is a chemical property, because chemical reactions are obviously chemical properties. Color, density, melting point, those all are physical properties. Number 6, which of the following is an example of a chemical change? The correct answer is C, burning wood. When you're burning something, you're forcing it to react with oxygen in the air. So boiling water, that is physical. Dissolving salt in water, creating a solution like that is just physical, because if the water evaporates, the salt will still be left over. You did not combine it chemically. And cutting paper is just changing the shape of paper. You're not doing anything chemical to it. So the correct answer is C, burning wood. Number 7, which of the following is an intensive property? The correct answer is C, color. So intensive properties, they do not change based on how much of something you have. So mass and volume were both our big examples for extensive properties. We didn't mention length, but length is just the shape of it. So if you have like a small piece of aluminum versus a long piece of aluminum, like that differs in length, and length is extensive. So that leaves us color of your wall, your like paint on your walls. If you take a small chip of paint, it's going to be the same color as your entire wall. Number 8, what is the state of matter characterized by having a definite shape and volume? This is pretty much directly from our notes on state of matter. This is C, solid. That is memorization, and that is something you should have known for a long time. So number 9, which of the following is an example of a physical property? The correct answer is C, density. So physical properties have nothing to do with chemical reactions. Density is just, we haven't really gone much into density yet, but you should know the basics of it from previous courses, even in middle school. Density, mass over volume, things like that. we can deduce that if we look at the others. Reactivity, again, when you see reactivity, you know it's chemical. Reactivity of water, we know is chemical. Ability to rust, rusting is reacting with oxygen. We know that's chemical. Flammability, anything burning is a chemical reaction. We can deduce its density. Number 10, which of the following is a characteristic of a physical change? The correct answer is C, change in state of matter. So we know that changes in state of matter are physical changes, and we can deduce that from the other ones. Formation of new substances, that's indicating a chemical reaction took place. We know that's incorrect. Change in chemical composition, it's right in the name. It's a chemical change. And release of energy. Releasing of energy, we'll go more into when we discuss endothermic and exothermic reactions, which is way later. But things to do with energy often has to do with chemical reactions. Not always, though. But we should know immediately change in state of matter is a physical change. So number 11, what type of property depends on the amount of matter present? So this gives us all options, all types of properties that we know. So we have to be able to deduce it. We have to get the most specific answer. So the correct answer is A, extensive property. Extensive depends on how much matter is present. For example, 2 different size aluminum cubes, I think was an example I used in 2.4. So that's just the definition of extensive property. If you said physical property, that's wrong. Chemical property, that's wrong, because extensive property can be either physical or chemical. Number 12, what happens to the mass of a substance during a physical change? The answer is C, it remains constant. So in physical changes, for example, a change in state of matter, the mass of a substance will not change. So the correct answer is just C. That is something you had to deduce with your knowledge so far. Number 13, which of the following is an extensive property? The correct answer is C, mass. Once again, it depends on how much matter is present. Hence, matter, mass, hear that correlation. Density is intensive. It does not matter how much you have. Same with boiling point and color. 14, which of the following statements is true about physical changes? The correct answer is D. They do not alter the chemical composition of a substance. That is right in the name. They do not alter the chemical composition. If it is altering the chemical composition, it is a chemical change. Physical changes do not involve the formation of new substances. Physical changes can be reversed. For example, if you mix salt into water, if you dissolve salt into water, if that water evaporates, you can get your salt back. And they don't only involve a change in appearance. Because it could, yes, they can involve a change in appearance, but chemical reactions also can involve a change in appearance. For example, I don't remember quite what the solutions are, but there are 2 solutions. If you mix it together, they're both clear. They create a neon yellow looking liquid. I'd have to double check on what those 2 are. But that caused a change in appearance. So while physical changes can change the appearance, so can chemical changes. D is the correct answer. It is the best answer. Number 15, what is the process called when a liquid changes into a gas? Now, the correct answer for 15 is A, evaporation. That should be prior knowledge. That will prepare you for the states of matter unit, where we'll go more in depth into that, but that should be something that is prior knowledge. Number 16, which of the following is not a physical property? The correct answer is B, flammability. Anything having to do with flammability, burning, is chemical reactions, chemical changes. Number 17, what type of change occurs when iron rusts? Correct answer is B, chemical change. So iron rusting is reacting with oxygen. And again, we don't talk about nuclear biological changes, especially not in this unit. And again, rusting, chemical reaction. So it is a chemical change. So number 18, which of the following is a chemical property? Correct answer is C, reactivity with oxygen. Again, right in the name, reactivity, anything that's reactivity has to do with chemical changes and chemical properties. So number 19, which of the following is not a state of matter? The correct answer is B, energy. You could confuse that with plasma, but solid, liquid, and gas are the three other options, and we know those are states of matter. We have known that for a long time, hopefully. So we can deduce that the correct answer is B, energy. Number 20, what is the state of matter characterized by having neither a definite shape nor volume? The correct answer is A, gas. And again, we'll go more into detail why that is in our gases unit way later on. So number 21, which of the following is an intensive property? The correct answer is D, density. Density does not change depending on how much of the substance you have. Length, mass, volume, those are the big examples of extensive properties even, but correct answer is D. Number 22, what type of change occurs when sugar dissolves in water? The correct answer is A, physical change. Again, there's those nuclear and biological changes you can just throw out the window. So if you let the water evaporate, we know that the sugar will come back just like salt. So it is a physical change. It can return back to its original state. Number 23, which of the following is a physical property? The correct answer is color. So physical properties, we know color is one of them. Since there's no indication that this is a chemical reaction changing the color. If it was a color change, that would be a chemical reaction, chemical change. But it's just the color, it's something we're observing. Number 24, which of the following is an example of a chemical change? Correct answer is C, burning wood. Once again, anything to do with burning is a chemical reaction. Dissolving salt in water, again, we can get the salt back by evaporating the water. Melting butter is a change of state, and same as freezing water. It is also a change of state. And number 25, what happens to the volume of a substance during a physical change? The correct answer is C, it remains constant. So volume is an extensive property, so it does not change depending on how much of something there is. For example, it does not change depending on the state of matter. It remains constant. So that's all of our multiple choice. Now we have our short answer response here. Now this is just answer the entire question and you're good. It's a short answer, doesn't need to be anything more than probably 6 sentences is probably where I'd say to aim for. Between 5 and 6 sentences is probably what I'd aim for at this point. This isn't an English or history course. So an example response. I have an example in here. A physical change in, the short answer responses explain the difference between a physical change and a chemical change, providing one example of each. So an example response is a physical change involves altering the form or state of a substance without changing its chemical composition. So if you gave that definition, you got that point. For example, melting ice into water is a physical change. Giving that example is another point. And then we have a chemical change involves transforming substances into new ones with different chemical properties. You give that definition, that's another point. And burning wood is an example of a chemical change as it produces new substances like carbon dioxide and water vapor. You don't have to know that. Just saying burning wood is an example of a chemical change, that would have been enough. That gets you a 4th point, and then just the overall, is it like a proper response, correct grammar, or at least mostly correct grammar, not just bullet points. That would get you your 5th point. That is how it would be graded. So that concludes Unit 2. We'll be moving on to Unit 3.